Welcome guys, welcome to part 7 of the abysmal failure of the glory of Hercules. Now the last part I actually gave the cross I feed the boss, the old man, and so now my next I have to do here is actually go inside the pyramids. And I've seen this video here, this is actually the correct route. Now there's only 2 pyramids you need to go to, however technically it's only 1, but I'm actually going to show you 2. And this is actually kind of like a maze of sorts. The pyramids aren't that bad, but without any walkthrough, you'll probably be lost. So right now, there's one important item I need to get, but I'm actually going to show you 2. One is a stone tablet. It's supposed to give you hints on how to defeat the final boss, or at least how to get there. But nonetheless, though, at the moment I'm going to a series of stairs, and this particular one is actually Pyramid A. You don't have to go to all the other pyramids because there's no treasure chest, there's no point going there. And as always, the random counter has been turned off, with good reason. All will be a good reason later on. So now I have to start, and notice that there's no stairs there when you come out, so I'm not quite sure how you get in the other pyramid. Now, following this walkthrough I got right in front of me, I pretty much need to find the Pacific staircase, which leads me to a treasure. Now, there's only 1 treasure in this particular pyramid. I'll have to go another series of stairs. Now, let's see here. Now, each time you go to a staircase, there's only like 1 room. There's no branching off, so that could be a good thing. Now there's no, well, following here does not seem to be any treasure for some godly reason. Now I believe there's only 4 staircases in each pyramid. Now this part I'm going to show you is actually the most important part of the series, and if you play this casually you might get stuck as well. So he's going rambling and rambling and rambling here. Okay, looks like I think I went to the wrong staircase here. So I think I'm supposed to go all the way right. Okay, could be. Don't mind me, guys. I'm just looking around. I think I might have to be at the wrong pyramid. We'll see. I just basically what I did here. I started over just to get my bounds, see where I'm exactly at. So let me just explore here, and I'll see something once I get that specific item. Okay, this is the tablet I was talking about before. As mentioned, you don't really need it. It just gives hints, and technically it's not a key item, but once you pick it up, it is a key item. So technically, it's pretty much a waste unless you want to use it and read what it says. So the next thing I gotta do is I have to go to another pyramid, Pyramid B, we call it. And by the way, you still get hurt crossing the desert, unless I think you got the water life, but it's just a waste. You rather just get some medicine and just cure yourself. So now that's out of the way, I have to go to a different stairs. I believe that's northward. This part here is not so much as a maze, that each of the steps, the stairs, leads to a different place in the desert, to a different pyramid. So here is Pyramid BBB, and of course, just like the other pyramid, there are about 4 or 5 stairs. Only one has treasure, the other leads to absolutely nowhere. So I'll say something once I get the pentacle. That's the second key item, and this is actually an item that you actually need. Yeah, I believe I went the wrong way again. And finally, this is the second item that you need. This is probably the most important item. Again, you don't need the tablet, the stone tablet. This is actually more of a trade. And notice there that I ran out of room on my key items. And there's a lot of items that you technically will not need anymore. The only thing you need at this point is the lamp and the ship. That's all you really need. You don't really need anything else. So if you're playing, which item do you think that you would drop off? Stone's probably worthless. The pillars, the fireball is kind of ish. So I mentioned for the pentacle, it's mostly a trade item. You have to meet a god. He asks you about the item, and then you trade for something else there. I don't need the water of life as mentioned before. Once you get some healing items, that's pretty much useless because you're not going to be coming back in the desert again here. So I'm just going to skip ahead and we'll get to the next item around this area. Alright, so now we're out of the pyramids. Now this next key item is another important item. You actually need this to complete the game. It's the spring drop. Yeah, it's a funny name. So to get here, you have to go southern of the desert. And I mentioned before, you don't have to go to the desert anymore. And there's actually another shrine. And it's actually a little maze, but luckily there are no stairs in this particular maze I'm going to. It's just one floor, but you definitely need a lamp. Unless you got a map and like to go blind. And here's this one. I'm just going to basically show you the stone tablet and read what it says. And after treading skies, a hero descended from the heavens to Datamaya. Later he entered the sacred town of Banana and cast a spell. Then at the altar of the moon, he presented the crystal of the goddess Hera. When the hero stood in the harbor and played the morning song, the sea shimmered, the red rose found the path of the holy people. Ain't that sweet? So you don't use the tablet anywhere. It's just a reference to pretty much what's going on in this game here and what needs to be done. So yeah, fun. So let's go. Alright, so now after you got the drop, you need to go back to the old man. So just remember, when you're doing this game, there's two key items that you need to get: the spring drop and the pentacle. Now once you've done those, well actually I think it triggers when you use the pentacle. You realize, hey, you may need the cross because you'll be fighting vampires. No, you won't be fighting vampires this game here. So there's another item that you need. And the part coming up is, I don't know if you read information about this game, but this is actually can do or die in this game here. Now you have to remember, once it says aloft the cross, technically you're supposed to go and go do the next part. But there's one item that I also need, and that's the reins. I might mention my earlier parts. This is what you need to ride Pegasus to get to the heavens and go forward the game. And you might figure, hey, this shouldn't be too bad. No. Again, this is actually a known bad programming. I like to say glitch, but it's not. So on the left-hand side, you're supposed to when we travel, you're supposed to meet these people, the 3 Dragon Trust clones, and they're supposed to say the Silk Reins, but for some reason they do not. And just getting bad programming, if for some reason they don't recognize what you have here. Now, technically, you're supposed to equip the Ares axe, which I'm doing right now, but he still does not want to sell me the reins. And this is where, if you have the cartridge, pretty much you'll throw it out the window or bang it or whatnot, because now your game is pretty much screwed at this point. So there's one thing I'd like to try, but this might take some time to do, so just hold on and I'll be right back. Alright, so what I did here basically, now there may be a fix for it, so what I did here, see this password, that's the latest password that I have for this game here. So what I did it basically beforehand, off camera, is that I reset the game, yeah, and put in the password. Now when I put the password, of course, plus reset everything, including the bosses and the items where to go. Now here's the itsy bitsy little problem here. My key items are full, and you cannot drop key items in this game like any way you want to. It has to be, and because I don't have any key items that I can use, I'll give you an example. So what I did off camera, of course, is that first off, to fix this problem with the three guys, you also do the Jade quest again. So I defeated the boss again, got the Jade, dropped the item. Now, and first off, a second for me to talk to the queen, I'll need the key, the skeleton key that I did earlier in my parts. Now, that's the problem. It's still, this game, technically, the skeleton key, or a key, they call it, is actually a key item, and I need to drop. Now, actually, the game doesn't let me drop. That's the problem. So you go to the store, the guy asks, you want to buy a key? He said, yeah, sure, I'll buy a key. I'll buy 1, 2, 3, 4. And now he asks me, uh-oh, you got no room. The items I got in there, I cannot drop anything, even though everything has been reset. I can get it again, but there's no point because none of the items I got are usable. What I mean is I can't talk to a person and the item disappears. The only usable item is the Jade, and I can't talk to the queen without the key, which allows me to talk to her and the Jade disappears. Now, because I still got the Ares axe, I can talk to the three guys again, and one of them, of course, supposedly will let me buy the reins. So now my game is pretty much SCREWED, big time. So I can't go any farther this game, but I'm actually not done this game. So there's actually going to be a next part. So basically, between these parts that I showed you, is that, well, it's pretty much what you do in the game, at least the 3/4. But this time around, the next part, I'm going to show you the beginning and the end. I actually tested it out, so I'm actually going to fast forward the next part. Only getting the key items. I'm not going to get any spells. I'll be using, of course, the cold, so I don't have to fight any enemies. I'm going to go use the level 3 yet again, and I'm going to stop once I get the reins and go to the Warriors Pyramid to use the reins to go to heaven, get Pegasus, blah blah blah, and so forth. So this pretty much sucks. So if you've been following the parts and you've been playing this game following the parts, I advise do not do it. Otherwise, you get stuck like me. So, again, the next part, I'm going to fast forward it at decent speed and basically tell you what I did and what I didn't do. So, guys, I'll see you next time. And if you decide to play this game, good luck. See you in part 8.